Many people don't really know how the wiring in their household works. They might know how a circuit works, but how does a light turn on when you flip a switch? Today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about home wiring and how it's done. I think that it's important for people to understand some of the more simple processes because, in my opinion, it's very important to not be reliant entirely on other people with certain skills to do all the maintenance around your house. And a good way to start doing it yourself is to start with basic home electrical work. I've been working on a cabin that my family is building for about a year now, and I've done most of the electrical work there. So I'll be taking my knowledge and applying it to this demonstration to teach you how to wire in a single pole switch. First, I will be explaining to you some of the components that are in this speech. A single pole switch is a switch that is the only interrupter of a circuit, so that if there was a three-way switch or a double pole switch, there would be two switches on the same circuit, but this is only one. This wire right here is known as 12-2 wire with ground. 12 is the gauge or diameter of the wires inside, and 2 meaning that there's a black and a white, a positive and a neutral, and with ground means that it has an uninsulated or a ground wire. This is a single gain box, meaning that it can only hold one switch or outlet. This is a round fixture box, which is used to hold light fixtures or ceiling fans. And the reason you need a box for that is so that there's somewhere for the wires to go, because they can't go inside of the fan or light. This is a temporary lights fixture used when working on construction. Typically there would be a third wire coming from it to connect to the ground wire, but since it's temporary, it doesn't need to be grounded. Next, I will show you how to wire in the switch. Now, in the interest of time, I have done a lot of this beforehand, but I will still be explaining it to you. The first thing you want to do is you want to take the insulation or the plastic around the wires and strip it off a little portion of the top of each of them. You want to take the two white or neutrals and put them together and wire them in with a wire nut, which has a metal insert to complete the circuit. Next, you want to take the two blacks and you want to make a hook on the ends of them to hook onto the two screws on the switch. And finally, you want to take your two grounds and wire them together with a nut and a jumper or a third wire that goes to the switch so that two wires are wired in as one. And according to the step-by-step guide on home wiring, the power source, which is over here, has a black wire that goes into the bottom screw of the switch, and the black wire going to the light source or fan goes in the top screw of the switch. So you will take the hooks and screw them on to the switch, just like that. Both of the blacks. And then do the same with the ground, but on the green or ground screw. Just like this. So now that switch is wired in. Next, finally, I would like to discuss a little bit of how to become a licensed electrician. I spoke to a local electrician, Wayne Ewing, who told me that you don't actually have to have a license in order to become an electrician in the state of Illinois, because it is dictated by the counties and not the state. Since the county that we live in is small enough in population, Wayne does not need a license to practice being an electrician. However, in places like Chicago, you do. And some of the processes are, you need to have 2 years of documented apprenticeship with a licensed electrician in order to take the test and become a licensed electrician in Chicago. So I've shown you how to wire in a single pole switch. I've shown you the components that go into it, and I've told you a little bit about the process of becoming a licensed electrician. Thank you for listening, and I hope this was an enlightening experience.